Alrighty, everyone, welcome back to another live stream, second one of the day. Hopefully everyone's having a great day so far. Caden, Proxy, HAFSA, Justin, as well as Kirby and everyone else in the chat who I may have forgotten to welcome, or if you're just now tuning in and may not be chatting, glad to have you in here. All right, let's switch on over to our main scene. We do have a recon starting to get into this storm right now. They should be on the northwest side and should be getting into the northwest side of the eye wall here pretty much in probably the next 5 minutes or so. So yeah, not really a whole lot has happened in the last hour and 20 minutes since we ended our last live stream. Convection has gotten a little bit more intense, honestly. Possibly a bit more strengthening has occurred in the last hour or so. We had two big bursts of convection happen, one at about 5:30, so almost an hour ago, and then another one happened just recently here, right about probably 6 o'clock, about 20 minutes ago. So two pretty big convecutive bursts that are wrapping around the entire eye of this system and really making it look the best it's ever looked. So very, very intense hurricane. Probably a sub 900 millibar hurricane now. I would be pretty surprised if Recon does not find sub 900 millibars in this Hurricane Melissa here. I'm going to just pull up the rest of my Recon stuff. That way everything is good to go, because we don't want to miss this first pass on the front left quadrant of this hurricane. So yeah, next update should be any second, actually. I'm going to refresh this, and there it is. Yep, first update, and they're not in the eye just yet, down to only 991 at millibar, so they're barely on the northwest side of that main eye wall, and they'll probably find some higher wind speeds here after we get our next update. So we got about 10 more minutes here before we get our main recon update, where it will show the millibars there in the main center of the system. Either that or it misses the eye. No, they're not going to miss the eye. They're not there yet. They're not in the eye just yet. So yeah, they got here just about 6 o'clock. They got to the far northwest side of the system. So right on time. We have another recon that's taken off from the ABC Islands, and they'll be here probably in just about an hour too. So we'll have two recons in this system at the exact same time. I'm using Cyclonic. That's what I'm using. Cyclonic WX. That's how I get it. Typically quicker than most sites. Cyclonic gets it pretty much the quickest, at least from my experience. Another thing is we have started to see potentially the start of a more northern turn here. You can see we've kind of stalled out here. So I would expect a north to northeast turn begins imminently from here on out. So we're definitely looking at most likely a landfall here somewhere in western Jamaica, somewhere in this area. I've seen a lot for some reason. I don't know why, but it's also gotten outside of YouTube. Now I've seen a lot of talk on Twitter about this system just not turning and like heading due west and just not going for Jamaica. That's not going to happen. I don't know why we're even questioning that. A strong high pressure is essentially a brick wall for anything, even if it's a Cat 5 hurricane with 180 sustained mile-an-hour winds, which would be slightly stronger than what the NHC has for Melissa. A brick wall would be a brick wall. That's, you know, it's a wall. You ain't going to be getting through it. So I'm not sure why people are discussing the potential for this to go further west, because literally that is physically impossible for this hurricane to do. Caden, I've thought that ever since this morning when I woke up and I saw that it was a 165. No, was it 165 when I woke up? I think it was 165 when I woke up, and ever since I saw that, I was like, yeah, this is gonna hit Jamaica probably near 910 millibar. I agree with that, Caden. Do you think it will go under 900 millibars? I do think Recon will find sub 900 millibars right here this pass. 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes. We will probably see a sub 900 millibar from Recon. And we are almost at a fully pink ring here once again. So like Recon, this is perfect timed for Recon. This is definitely like the absolute perfect time for Recon. They've actually nailed this on the peak intensity because it's stalling out. So it's strengthening probably the most right now. That's why we keep seeing all that convection continuously fire. The cloud tops are almost negative 80 around the entire eye wall itself. And the eye is getting very symmetrical, just as symmetrical as obviously what it was when we were last live almost an hour and a half ago. So very, very, very intense hurricane. And I do think it will be a sub 900 millibar hurricane here. We're waiting just 6 more minutes. 6 more minutes. That is supposed to be 6:33 is when we should get the pass. 6:33 Eastern. So when that hits that 27, when that turns to 33, we should get the pass for Recon going right through the center. We should actually get at least the northwest side and the center, but honestly, we might even get almost into the southeastern side at 15 minutes. So they're in the eye probably right now. Right now they are in the eye getting the data. It's just going to take a little longer for us to receive it. Landfall is still expected to be tomorrow morning. Yes. Somewhere around probably 7, right around 7 Central, 8 Eastern is what we're thinking. What's the eye temp? I have no idea, honestly. I wonder if it's how dry it still is. Let me go see. I'm more curious about that. See, imagine it's broken its record for the 3rd time today. Let's see. Satellite, mesoscale, water vapor. Oh man, this is going to load like a full 400 frame. This is going to take a hot minute here. Yeah, it looks like the eye is about -7 Celsius, which is still very dry, but it's not the -4.41 that we had earlier in the last live stream. But still a very, very dry eye. Still very much on a strengthening trend here. And I think it's going to continue. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I don't think this is going to be... I don't think this thing's going to be weakening much up till landfall. It would not surprise me if we see a sub 910 landfall like Caden said. Yeah, I just got that too, Caden. For a split second, I thought it was just me. I just tried to log on to Tropical Tidbits for the model runs. Everybody's coming on at the same time. Somebody, I wonder if it was one of the big streamers who are live right now, if someone over there went and said, use Tropical Tidbits for Recon, and then 50,000 people go flood the site at the same time. Because pretty much everybody and their grandma is live right now. covering this recon pass. Everyone and their grandma, man. So, yeah, we're going to wait for recon again. Only 3 minutes left. 3 minutes. And this could be... This is probably a historical pass right here for recon. I mean, we could be looking at potentially the third strongest system ever in the Atlantic. Maybe even... I don't know about the second, but... maybe top 5. Maybe top 5. I'd have to go revisit my records again. Go visit the records. Public data. But I know for sure this is like, already this is a top 10. It was top 10 this morning. So I imagine it's probably top 5 in terms of maybe wind speeds or lowest millibar. It would have to be probably millibar. Honestly, the millibar, like, what was it, this morning? Like, the millibar was down to like 9, 10, and the wind speeds were still at 160. I was like, that's insane. That is insane. A low end category 1 with like a 9-10 millibar. But now they obviously increase those wind speeds. Also, for those who are wondering what wind speeds we need to see wind speeds greater than 175 miles per hour for flight level, we're going to need for 100 to be supportive of about 180 mile per hour sustained winds at the 10 meter, which is what the NHC uses. We're going to have to see about 165 flight level. 165 knot flight level, maybe even a little bit higher. And the millibar is typically right around what the NHC goes with. So if we get like an 890 8.9 millibar, they'll probably round that up to like a either 900 flat or 899. Let's see. I'm guessing 915, 160 knots. No. That'd be weaker. That would be weaker. I doubt that. I highly doubt it's weaker than what it was like an hour ago. 175 knot flight level, that would be supportive of like 185, 190 sustained. That is realistic. It's realistic, but for this storm, that would definitely be on the very high side of things. But I mean, it is a realistic number. It is possible. We haven't had recon in this for so long, so it is actually possible that it could be like as high as that. Should be within like the next 100 seconds that we get our recon data. The moment we've been waiting for over 4 hours now. First recon pass through this system, and it looks fairly timed to when this storm is at least strengthening, or at least maintaining strength. Any second. Hopefully Cyclonic's not crashing like Tropical Tibbets. I got Tropical Tibbets back. Wait, did I? Never mind. I did not get Tropical Tibbets back. I'm waiting for someone in chat to type it. So I'm going between chat and going between Cyclonic WX. Oh, I'm getting it right now. Come on, fully load. Oh, actually higher than I was thinking. 910. 910 millibar. Maybe they missed the center there. 146 rather. 146 knots. 910. So yeah, you said, Grumpy Grandpa said 915, 160. But the highest wind speeds, this is not the quadrant where the wind speeds are the highest. That millibar should be general right around that, really. Yeah, they did go right through the dead center here. 910 millibar. So they got 910 millibar right in the middle. They definitely hit the center, I could tell you that. It'd be pretty difficult to miss the center. Honestly. So the millibar is higher than I thought. I'm going to be honest. It is higher than I thought. The highest I was thinking was like 905, really. Considering what we've seen over the last few hours, that's honestly 910 is quite a bit higher than I was anticipating. And those wind speeds, considering it's on the northwest side, yeah, I'm not too shocked that those wind speeds are a bit lower. Does that mean it's weakening? Not necessarily, because they didn't go through like the entire eye or the entire eye wall. They could have hit a little weaker shower over here. And I could tell you, the northeast quadrant, that's where your main wind speeds are. That's where the highest winds are, right up in here. And they are going through this quadrant and this quadrant. They'll probably find higher wind speeds in this area, because we just had a huge amount of convection fire here. They should find higher wind speeds down in here. I would be pretty surprised if they don't. I think what was it, like 140 something is what they found in the northwest side. 146 in the northwest side. I would be shocked if they don't find higher than that in the southeast side of the eye wall. Now, as for the millibar, there may be a lower millibar somewhere else around in the eye. There's no way to really know if they hit the dead center or not of that low pressure. But probably somewhere right around 910. I suppose that's realistic. Yeah, so this thing is, it should begin moving north. We have a significant wobble off to the south right now. And that wobble is what's going to promote a northern turn. Yeah, it's a little strange, honestly. It is a little strange how the millibar is higher. I wonder if we're going to get a drop zone. I don't know if they're going to do that. Yeah, because our last recon found a millibar of 905.6. And that was that was at 1550Z. That's like 7 hours ago when they found the lowest millibar. I mean, it's not like a crazy weakening or anything. It's just like 5 millibars. That's not an insane difference. But definitely a little bit surprised on how it is higher. I was thinking lower, really. No, they definitely didn't miss the eye, but they may have missed the dead exact center. It's hard to say for certain, but there's no way the millibar's not around 910. It may be like a millibar lower than that, or it could be 910 on the dot. Thank you for the $5 donation. Appreciate it. Appreciate your data. Excellent coverage. Thank you from LVNV. Let's see. Whose prayers are with the good people who were unable to evacuate. Yeah, unfortunately, not everyone was able to evacuate. That's for sure. But a lot of people are just gonna, really stay in shelter and hunker down and just brace for the worst. I did look at some of the infrastructure on in Jamaica, and it seems like the worst buildings in terms of like poor built buildings is on the west side of Jamaica. Like the Kingston area, some buildings in the Kingston area are pretty well made, but the western side of Jamaica, a lot of buildings are poorly made. It is moving south. It's actually moving south southeast at this point. Maybe due south right now. But it should start to move north northeast very, very soon. I don't know how soon, but very soon. This is the wobble. This is the big wobble that's going to turn the storm. It's a big wobble that's going to correlate for turning the storm here. I mean, you could see we are out. We are like on the edge to pretty much almost outside of the cone right now. But I do think it will wobble back like this, and then it's going to start moving either due north like this, or like this. One or the other. Man, I mean, that's where it was at the 5 o'clock update. It's probably going to be very close to that at the 8 o'clock update, too. So, another thing is, considering this wobble, that's a lot more time over water. That is a lot more time over water. This was supposed to be moving northeast by now. So everybody's focused on a west turn. It's going to completely miss Jamaica, which it's definitely not. Unfortunately, it's not going to fully miss Jamaica. I'm thinking about the fact that it's going to be over water longer. Because it's not speeding up and it's not rapidly moving off to the northeast. Do you think it will strengthen further? Yeah. Considering it's 9:10 right now, yeah, I really do. We're approaching yesterday, we hit a lull in intensity yesterday around this time frame. And then closer to where we are now, 7 o'clock or so, it started picking up on intensity again. So this could be the same case where we've kind of been at a lull in intensification in the last 3 to 5 hours, and then we're going to pick back up on intensification here maybe in 2 or so hours. I do want to go see. Are we at a full pink ring yet again? Yep, we are. I mean, it really does surprise me, honestly. It really does surprise me that millibar is 5 higher. That really does surprise me quite a bit. Maybe I mean, it could have been lower before, but honestly, like the infrared satellite looks really, really good. You know, considering we haven't had any like radar and this is the first recon in a while, it could be correlating to something with the eye wall starting to deteriorate. Could be correlated to a eye wall merger or eye wall replacement cycle. Because I still don't have radar. At 5 millibar, that is, the lower you go, the more impressive it is with change. Like a 5 millibar, okay, let me put it this way. The difference between a 995 millibar and a 1000 millibar is not that big. But the difference between a 910 millibar and a 905 millibar, that is somewhat bigger. Just because you're lower in millibar, so it's harder for storms to deepen. We did get a drops on. I don't have one yet. See if Tropical Tidbits is back up. Okay, that's good. Oh, we did number 4. Hold on. Let me look at that. Drops on number 4. That says Northwest Eye Wall. Let's see. I do see where it says 908 millibar. I want to wait for it to have a pinpoint, though. Normally, they'll update it on the wind map. Do you think it's going to do an eye wall replacement cycle or not? It's anyone's guess, really. I don't think it's going to end up doing an eyewall replacement cycle. It still looks way too good to be undergoing an eyewall replacement cycle right now. There's a chance tonight, but not many things point towards that. We'll have to see what recon says when they fill out their little list thing. I don't know what you call it. But they fill out a little form thing about what data they've gathered. No, don't go down on me, please, Tropical Tidbits. Yeah, the HAFSB has it dropping down to 903 millibars tonight. And it might even go farther than that on this model run. We're getting the 18Z models in now. Drop sign is 908. Okay, that's multiple people who have said it, so I'd assume that's pretty much confirmed there. We did get another pass through here. Let's see if they found anything higher than 146. Nope. 146 was the max found. Slightly lower wind speeds in the southeast eyewall compared to the northwest eyewall. Or the southeast eyewall. Weaker winds in the southeast eyewall compared to the northwest eyewall. Well, we know the millibar is somewhere between about 908 to 910 right now. Somewhere around there. We will get another pass through before the NHC update. We're gonna get another pass through. Like I said, I don't think they found the highest wind speeds. The highest wind speeds are probably in the northeast side of the eye. Either way, it's a category 5. Either way. And I still do believe that we could see some strengthening once this picks up on that northeast motion again. I think we could see some more strengthening. As long as an eyewall replacement cycle isn't happening at this moment. Which I feel like it's not, because that eye has... It has the same structure it had, like, 6 hours ago. So I don't think it's undergoing an eyewall replacement cycle. I'm just curious now to see what the 18Z models are going to say. To see if any of those are a little bit stronger. Poor Tropical Tidbits is being absolutely flooded right now. Yeah, the eye, I know, a couple other people are noting the eye is a little bit less dry now, so there's a few small indications, like the wobble we just went through, the eye being a little bit less dry, the wind speeds being a little bit lower, the millibar being a tiny bit higher. There's a few tiny little things that are hinting towards an eyewall replacement cycle or merger. I'd really love to see the radar, though. From Jamaica, but I guess that's not going to happen. The HAFSB does have a sub 900 millibar storm tonight. Sub 900 millibar storm tonight on the HAFSB. 898. And that's at the 2 a.m. update, according to the HAFSB. And it has max sustained winds at 180 miles per hour. 155 knots. And matter of fact, it actually has, get this, it actually has 180 mile per hour landfall. It actually has 180 mile per hour landfall. 908 millibar, 180 sustained. For landfall tomorrow morning. Actually, and it has accounted for it being later. Landfall, this would be closer to 10 a.m. Eastern. That's closer to 10 a.m. Eastern on that HAFSB model run. So it's accounting for the wobble and the slower motion that we have seen over the last few hours. The HAFSA, we'll have to see what that has, but it is deepening on the HAFSA model run. Oh my word. The HAFSA has 195 sustained. What? 904, 195 tonight. Gracious day. Little aggressive, huh? 195 sustained tonight? Like, that's literally in like an hour or two. I think that model might be, somebody might have gave the HAFSA too much caffeine or something, because I think that's way too aggressive. 170 not sustained. 195 mile per hour, 170 not sustained. H-Morph isn't in yet. Let's see if the H-Mond is. Let's see what the H-Mond has. The H-Mond has it hovering right around 901 millibar for a couple hours. And sustained winds about 175? Yeah. 175. And then it does weaken as it approaches landfall. Later, definitely later, about 10 a.m. on the H-Bond and the HAFSB. See if the HAFSA, see when that has landfall, that still has to render in. Yeah, we haven't got the last few frames of the HAFSA yet. The last one we got was 904, 195 mile per hour sustained. Sustained winds right now from the NHC is 175. I don't know. Recon is kind of suggesting that it's going to be staying right around 910, 905. Gracious day, HAFSA. That is insane. The HAFSA has sustained winds of 203 miles per hour and a millibar of 896. Dude. It has rapid deepening beginning now. As it starts to move northeast. It drops from 907 to 896 in about 6 hours. 203 sustained on that model run. 176 knots sustained. Okay, well, actually, it's like 167 point, like, what is it? I want to see the point here. Poor tropical tidbits, man. I don't even know if I'm going to be 0.6. So 176.6 knots sustained, which is, like I said, 203. The tropical tidbits is just being swarmed. Yeah, it still is